if you're getting spotting or lighter bleeding or less bleeding or brown discharge or lighter pink bleeding at the end of your period, like those few days after that bright red bleeding ends and you're like, is this spotting? Is this my period? That is still part of your period, okay? So when we count spotting is before your period starts. I wanna know how many days you're spotting prior to your period. If your period ends and you have a couple of days where it's just kind of brown or lighter or pink or whatever it is, that is still part of your period. And we are going to count those days as your bleeding days as well. The only time we count spotting is if it's before the bright red bleeding or if it's happening in the middle of your cycle where your period's been over for several days and then all of a sudden you get bleeding or spotting again, then we're gonna count that as mid-cycle spotting. But the spotting that you get prior to your period starting, I wanna know because that usually tells me that progesterone is likely low, estrogen might be too high. That is important. But if it's happening right after your period ends, like the day after, that's normal. That's part of your bleeding.